Hi, everybody. My name is Sébastien. I'm very, very happy to be here today. And to this Substance Days 2022 in real life. It's quite amazing to be here today. A bit weird as well, but really, really good. So hope you enjoyed the day. We have a beautiful program. We have wonderful speakers. You've seen a little bit of Gio's bio, and we'll have Gio back there. We have Wes. And I'm Sébastien again. Welcome again. So, really, this is I'm here to start the day. I won't speak too long, and we have beautiful things to show. And you've seen amazing things already in that show reel. And for us, it's just pride to see how much good stuff is being produced by the industry using our tools. Not only our tools, all the tools, but including our tools. And we're very happy and very proud of that. So that was amazing to see. Also, maybe a few words about what happened in the past couple of years. Obviously, we haven't been able to come and join and meet again. But we've been working, and like everybody, we've been trying to work from home and trying to cope with the situation. And the team has been hard at work. And I don't know if you've noticed, but we released a few things, and we're very proud also of the products that we released. Like for instance, I have a list here. We released a new version of Substance Painter with a UI overhaul and a new 3D warp projection tool, which is very, very, very nice. And also color management, which is also very, very useful. We released the new, completely first new iteration of Stager, Substance Stager, a staging and rendering application that features real-time ray tracing, and that can use from Substance Painter to say, well, send your project to Stager and do a beautiful rendering. You will see more of that today. Sampler, also Substance Sampler, went through a full redesign, and we have now beautifully streamlined a more accessible experience in the tool that lets you capture data, capture materials, and create wonderful materials. Again, today you will have a very, very nice demo about it. And Substance Designer went through its most consequential change last year with the addition of parametric modeling on top of parametric texturing, obviously. And also, last but not least, we've added thousands of materials, models, lighting environments in Substance Source, or the Substance 3D assets, formerly known as Substance Source. And we're far from done, so that's what we'd like to show you today. Anyway, welcome again, and let's start with a little bit of a tradition, which is going through a few artworks from the community. We've seen the pros in the video, and now we want to also showcase what we find amazing in the community and what people produce and what you guys produce with the tools, and which is really, really amazing. And this is not working, obviously.
Did it not? Here, I got it.
There you go. Oh, sorry, that was me going in the wrong direction. Okay. All right, let's start with this community showcase. Yes, it's working. Perfect. Let's start with this one by Artem Ostapchuk, which is a beautiful environment. Love this type of not small, big environments. Have been done with the help of Substance and many other tools. Again, as I was saying, we're very happy to see our tools being used in this type of rendering as well. This is amazing, done by Sébastien Derridas and Sofia Nagy. The quality of the rendering, obviously, of the skin, all the materials, and the look, just the plain beauty of that artwork. And by the way, these are people from Platige Image, so these are pros again. But Platige is one of the most advanced VFX houses in the world, and they're great, doing great work. This actually is amazing in the way, I mean, in many ways. First, it bringing memories, and also it's actually there's no geometry there, right? It's a purely parametric texture, and there is a little video that shows that a little bit. So in Substance Designer, you can create all these variations of the cassette and the tape, and create all these nice visuals, and it's all parametric, and it's all generated by the Substance engine. So seeing that again is amazing, and we have this Insanity Award, like little thing that we created a few years back. That could be a winner, and we'll show more of that today. Again, we'll show a few of them. But that's amazing work right here by Kat Tamburello. This is great, actually, by Glenn Fox, also because it's a stylized environment. It's not only ultra realistic renderings that we like to showcase, and we're very happy when we see all tools being used in that type of goal as well. So this is a great example. This is also a great example, like a mix of expressive but very, very stylized work by David Zavala. Beautiful work here again. This work again, like this environment, again, same thing, not realistic, but amazingly well done. And this one is from Anastasia Osishkina, and this is a beautiful thing. Love this one by Jared Chavez. Just like the quality of the materials, obviously it's important to us, but the overall story that has been told, and the look of the character here is amazing. A few more environments, and by the way, we see more and more of these little environments, not little, sorry, I shouldn't use little, but like these environments, little scenes and little videos about environments, and all done in real time. And this one is from Durab Barizashvili, and from a concept by Sean Ma, which is again very well done. Anyway, this one we love as well, the Terrarium by Changyu Wang, and the quality of the rendering, the choices of materials, all the details, like little ducks in the pond. This is amazing. And this one is inspired by, I guess, Ready Player One and by Bondoc Max. Beautiful, beautiful rendering as well, beautiful creation. Anyway, so I could go, and this one I think is the last one, but this one from Alexandre Mougenot, beautifully, well, realized first, and then like just the idea of it is amazing as well. So anyway, we wanted to show that a little bit and pay tribute to the community, and I think we have the last one by Michał Marusko, which is amazing as well. We'll pay tribute to the community again. It's our way to thank and send back some good vibes, because we enjoy looking at them on our site. All right. So with this, we'll talk a little bit about the day itself and the sessions that you will have the pleasure to follow today. So first, we'll have a session about Battlefield 2042, about procedural badge creation with Substance Designer, and this one will be presented by both Clay and Priya Brata, and both from EA Dice. That will be an amazing talk. And then we'll have something with that involves a Substance 3D Modeler Beta, which will be done by Ryan Corneille, who's going to demo what he's been doing with the beta of the tool. And again, you will learn more about the tool today, but this is a great occasion to learn way more about the tool itself. Also, we'll have a little talk about Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy by Genshi Buccelli. I hope I say it properly, from Eidos in Montreal. And then we'll have Psychonauts, talk about Psychonauts 2, bringing classic characters into the modern era, and done by both David and Zara. And that will be done for the day. And that's it. This is a beautiful program. Thank you to all the speakers for being here again. And then we'll have a little after party. You're all invited, obviously. And we will hold that. We'll have this party happening at the Press Club from 7:30 p.m. And more. Right. All right. Oh, by the way, I'm supposed to do that. So, this is the QR code for tonight's party, right? Am I correct? Okay. So you want to scan it? If you can do that now, that'd be great. So that you can easily enter. You will be on the list, and there will be gifts and good times all together after all these years. All right. Hopefully you had it. So anyway, something that is happening. Do you need more time? Oh, sorry. There you go. That's important. All right. Guess I can do it now. So happening at the same time of GDC is GTC. So we will have more, and it's happening online. It's organized by NVIDIA, and we'll have 2 sessions there as well. So again, if you want to learn more about the Substance world, and we have these 2 talk tracks, and one is the one on the left is held by Rob Bryan Jr. and Pierre, who's just here, I think, about like using the Substance 3D tools to create fabrics, among other things, and amazing work there. And a little bit technical, very technical talk about adopting Vulkan for next gen path tracer by I think it's Anthony Salvi. Okay, great. All right. One thing before I head over to the. Oh, more things. Sorry. So this is cool. This is actually something that we're doing the first time this year. If you're an artist and you want to show and get feedback about your book and your work, we are organizing a few discussions at the booth, happening at the booth, and you can meet some of our technical artists, and they can provide you with feedback. So there are still a few slots available. So if you're interested, like just scan this guy and register and get to meet our technical artists, and they can provide you with some useful advice, right? So that is nice. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about this, the showcase contest. We launched a contest a few weeks ago, months ago, I don't remember, but with Z from HP, Mimaki, and NVIDIA Studio. I know nothing, right? I should rehearse more. But anyway, so it was great to see all the results, and I want to show a few results again, like today. This one won the first place from Elvis Dovens. Won the first place in the customization category for students. So a student produced that, which is amazing. We also have, like, speaking of students, one more student, Annika Heine, won the first place in the showcase category. We had 2 categories in the contest, and same thing, like very nice work. And then we have Cyril Dellenbach, who won the first place in customization category overall, not a student category. I love this one. I actually think it's beautifully done. And this one from Ishan Verma, first place showcase category as well, which is absolutely beautiful. If you check the Substance magazine, you will see how Ishan actually created all these materials himself, and then, like, laid them out onto the shoe itself, and to obtain this thing. And he used a Substance stager to do the rendering as well, very quickly. So that was beautiful to see. All right, last thing, I think, maybe, hopefully. It's this newsletter. We have a new newsletter, and because we switched from algorithmic to Adobe, we could not transfer data from the users, right? So it makes sense. So you have to re-register to the newsletter if you want to follow the news again. So again, same thing. Scan that thing. Make sure you receive the news and the emails, so that we can, like, share the good stuff with you as well. And I think that's it for my part. And now I will head it over to Wes. Thank you again for being here. Very excited. This is special. All right, Wes.
Thank you so much, Seb. So again, welcome everybody. It's so cool for us to be here back at GDC in person. Before we get started, what I'm going to do is just kind of run through, like, the products and everything. And before I get started, I just wanted to say, I just wanted to give a special shout out to all of the teams that we have that can't be here with us today, that are back at home, like Seb said, continuing to work. We have, the teams from all our products, but not just that, but also, like, our marketing team, just everyone who's been working really hard these past 2 years. And I just want to give a special shout out to those guys, and just everyone who's been working on that. One of the really cool things about working with Substance is just the feeling of it being like a family. And I've always greatly enjoyed that. And I got to say, Seb, I've missed my family. Yeah. And it's so cool to be back here with us all again. So anyways, I just wanted to say that. Thank you, Substance. I love you guys. So with that said, we're going to talk about, let's just jump into the products here. And we're going to start with Adobe Substance 3D Assets. So with the 3D assets, see, we now are offering more than 13,000 assets. So, and of course, most of them being parametric. We like parametric stuff. And providing millions of potential variations to what, because it is parametric. So since last year, we added thousands of game-ready 3D models with consistent poly counts, texel ratio, unique UVs, and clean quad-based topology. Checking how the notes thing works here. You have to scroll down. Okay, so with all these assets, they can be used or modified in any kind of project that you like. We've also added environment stages. So these are our packaged lighting environments. They also include parametric IBL for image-based lighting, where each light source within this light file can be modified independently as well. So again, you get all that extra variation, as well as we also include high-resolution backplates for your environments. So we have quite a bit of new content that is coming. And this first video, I think there is sound to it. Yeah, I'll just talk over it. So this first video is previewing a new set of assets. So we have, this is about 160 new stylized assets, which we call Bell Island. And this was actually created by the 3D Assets team within our Substance 3D and I division. So under the artistic direction of Pierre-Antoine Moello. And the art was created by the 3D Assets teams. We have Damien Busseau, Simon Lippe, Stefan Fontaine, and Nicholas Veerman. So here you can see as the video plays through, this is all just using the Substance 3D assets, bringing them together to create like a unique scene. So you're seeing the models that we have as part of the collection, you see the materials, and again, using all this in your projects to build, whatever you can dream of and create. So here again, just letting the video play through, you can see just more examples of some of the materials and how great the scene is. The team did just a phenomenal job with this. I mean, it was pretty awesome. Like, yeah, we always looking through it. So anyways, thank you so much to the team for that. That was wonderful. And again, those new assets are coming soon. Now, for this project, you can see here that the team did create the full island, like I said, using all of the 3D models that are available within the 3D Collections library. And they textured them all with stylized materials to create the overall kind of look and feel that Pierre had for his initial 2D artwork. And so you can see here that this little animation on the side just lets you see what the assets look like as they kind of come together. So we've also added a new food and drink collection. So we have, again, with this, we have more than 200 parametric materials and 3D models. And here are some of the close-ups that show the kind of great diversity of photorealistic materials, from chips to fruits. I like chips. Yeah. So you can see the great detail that you get here with these assets. Okay, so again, all the materials are parametric in nature. Each has built-in parameters that allow you to customize many aspects of the materials. I think I can play, well, actually, go back to that again. There we go. I think that tomato is supposed to rotate, but that's okay. But like I was saying, all the parameters, they allow you to customize many aspects. So things like, think about, changing things from the color to, how many chocolate chips that you might need on your ice cream cone. The collection serves as a ready-to-use toolbox for food and drink visualization. So you can see here that the 3D models, again, super optimized with poly counts for real-time materials. These can be combined seamlessly together and enables you to achieve photorealistic results very effortlessly. So this here is another kind of great example. So this coffee scene is made entirely with 3D models, the materials and atlases from the 3D asset collection. One of the things that I found that was quite amazing with this was the beans. So the coffee beans are created from 3D from the actual parametric bean atlases. So again, creating the 3D models from the 2D texture atlases, which is actually really, really cool. You can see here how they were able to do that. And the team is also busy creating a sci-fi collection. So we've studied advanced material technologies like thermobimetal, ferrofluids, vault structuring to design procedural patterns and shapes to really help just inspire your creativity. And one of the other unique things too is so the 3D Assets team is also, they've also put together a division to help them study basically UFO sightings. And so what they're doing is they're also, in the hopes that maybe they can find a crashed alien spaceship, they're going to scan it. So, they're working on all that kind of stuff. I thought that was interesting. Of course, I'm totally kidding with that. Yeah.
I want to see creatures.
Yeah. All right, so here you can also see just some more examples. They're also building something that's dedicated to graphic art. So, again, just aim to gather materials and decals to create a range of artistic effects, again, all fully parametric. And also coming very soon here, we have a collection of ancient Egypt materials that we plan to release. This is actually coming, I think, at the end of March, with more than 400 parametric materials. So you'll be able to texture like ancient temples, mummies, sculptures, and even carve your name into the hieroglyphics everywhere. So this is gonna be pretty cool. So we also have a new section here for the new Community Assets platform. So this is actually the successor to what we originally had with Substance Share. And so this platform is growing as well. And you'll notice here that we have hundreds of materials and smart materials. And what we're adding now, which is actually pretty awesome, is the ability to upload 3D models as well. So we're supporting FBX and GLTF to start. So again, like you said, you can jump into the 3D community assets, upload your content, download content from the community, all free. And it's a great way to just kind of give back to the community and also grab some assets that you may need. Okay, so now what we're going to do is let's just dive into the products themselves, and we're going to start here with Sampler. Okay, so we're going to take a look at, just what we'll do is we'll take a look at some of our previous updates, and then we'll look at some things that are coming soon here. So we had a very innovative new release a few months back in January where we included a major feature, which was physical size. So physical size allows you to set and embed real-world size metadata into your materials. You can now display materials at their true scale. And you can actually leverage physical size in various third-party apps like Clo, and we do have more coming with our integrations. So here in this video, you can see that we're showcasing this new cloth weave generator, and you can now create advanced weave patterns to drive precise and intricate fabric materials. I would like to say that this particular generator was created by Guillaume Mayer. I have the distinct honor to be able to work with Guillaume on a daily basis, and he's just incredible. He's such a great artist, but he also has such a high degree of technical skill, and he's working on lots of filters for the Sampler team. So thanks, Guillaume. It's really great what you do. So now we're going to talk about some new innovations that we're adding in our upcoming 3.3 update. And so one of these is the new content-aware fill. And this is actually quite interesting because it works not only on one image like it would in, say, Photoshop, but this is also going to work as a content-aware fill across a full PBR material. So think about being able to use this across multiple channels. And it also works on environment lights as well. And you can use the same content-aware fill features as in Photoshop and Sampler on various different types of assets. Now, another thing that the team has worked on is an improved clone stamp. So this time, the clone stamp is actually going to support multiple strokes. So if you recall, you used to use the clone tool and you'd have to, create a new layer and kind of continue that. So I'm happy to announce that we can now just use multiple strokes within the same layer, which is quite awesome. And also, the brush cursor now will show you precisely like a preview of what you're actually going to be cloning. So it's a bit closer to what you would expect a clone tool to work in, say, something like Photoshop. So they've also improved the overall widgets, like how the transform and crop work within the 2D view. They're a lot more, easier to use. They've also improved how the brush tool works, and much more to talk about with that coming in the upcoming 3.3 update.
One thing I can add maybe about the content-aware fill is that we work with Adobe Research on this one. Mm. And you find some of that technology in tools like Photoshop and I think Premiere and After Effects. And now it's fully ready for materials, full materials, as you were saying, in Substance Sampler. And this is pretty awesome, pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah, that's really cool. And it's awesome to see like those various research teams being able to work together and share those innovations. All right, so now let's take a look at what the Substance Designer team has been cooking up. All right, so in the upcoming 12.1 update, we have some great new updates with USD. So we're going to be supporting USD, I'll say all of them, USD-A, USD-C, USD-Z files. And what's really cool is this is going to allow you to import meshes, and you can use it's for baking as input of the Substance model graph, or to use in the 3D view and also with cameras. Another thing that's really interesting with this is that you can export the result of, say, your model graph. So you're working on a model that you've created. You can export that as USD, which is going to allow you to support instances. Especially, that's really great too, is if you're using some of the nodes that are able to replicate objects across the surface or something like that. So the USD export will support the instances and material IDs, and also as a tessellated mesh from the 3D scene. So that's going to be a new support. In addition to the send to stager for the Substance model graphs. So again, just to recap, in the Substance model graph, you used to be able to create your model, or you still can. You could create your model and you could just send that right into stager. All of the parametric controls that you expose would then be available to you inside of stager. Now we're going to be supporting Substance materials as well. So now you can send your Substance materials directly into stager, just like we're doing with Painter and Sampler. So again, just kind of helping to round out that ecosystem. And of course, you can't talk about Substance Designer without talking about nodes, new nodes. So we will be releasing new nodes for Substance Material Graph. So lots of new generators, new filters, and new noises. So you can see a few of the examples that we're showcasing here. One of the ones I'd like to really call out is the new tile random, which allows you to basically add randomness in the generated grid. We have triangle patterns, 3D noises, new grunge maps from Painter. This is actually a great one. So you know all the grunge maps we have in Painter, which were actually quite nice. We've added those into Designer, which, you know, finally. So it's really great that those are there. And as well as a mind-blowing voxel render node. So you can see that in the bottom left corner here. So lots of new nodes. You can see, like I said, Voronoi, new fractal noises, non-uniform rotation, extend shape filter, auto crop, and more as well. So lots of new nodes that you can use. So this slide here is just showing an example of some of the new nodes. This is a leather that was created by Nicholas Veerman. He is the substance wizard, substance designer wizard. He actually has magical powers. And so you can see here that Nicholas used the triangle grid and the Voronoi fractal here to create this leather material. And you can see, you know, some of the patterns that he created on the right side with these new nodes. Now, next up, we'd like to talk a bit about the Insanity Awards. So, as you know, we can't believe what you guys are doing inside of Substance Designer. And it's quite awesome to see, you know, what the community is creating, like you said, Seb. So to pay tribute to your talent, we are honored to present Insanity Awards. And basically here, we want to showcase some of the craziest projects we've seen. And again, there's a Substance article in magazine that's covering the Insanity Award. So I highly recommend you go and check that out. But you can see here, this is a complete total Substance graph, parametric material that's, you know, quite insane. So next here, you can see we have a graph that just really grabs hold of your attention. This here is done by Johnny Malcolm. And let's see, I think there is another. There we go. You can see on the left side a little bit of a little time lapse of that material as well. But these are just some quick examples. Again, check out the Substance magazine. You can get a full breakdown of the Insanity Awards. But we just greatly want to thank everyone for the work and inspiration that they do for the tools. It's so awesome, like just being an artist and be able to look at what these guys are creating, and it just, you know, you feel, oh man, I'm just going to jump in and give that a try. So it's amazing to see what you guys always create. All right, so now we're going to dive right into Painter, and let's just check out what's coming soon here with the Painter, on the Painter side. A little video here. You may have seen this video already. So this is actually showcasing our new Space Mouse support. This has been a long requested feature. Yeah, I think that was requested back from like Substance Painter beta, right? Yeah.
Maybe before. Yeah.
So it just goes to show, you know, you put we'll get to it, you know? I mean, don't lose hope. Yeah, so this video here was created by Lawrence Corine. Again, I want to give a special shout out to Lawrence, another awesome guy that I have the privilege of working with on a daily basis. Lawrence created, that's his hand actually, by the way. He created the Space Mouse video, so thank you, Lawrence. The Meet Mat was actually textured by Tony Baldwin as part of one of our Meet Mat contests. So the Space Mouse allows you to navigate a 3D scene, you know, so you're using your left hand while your right hand is continuing just to paint. And what it does is it provides a very smooth and fun navigation as you can lively interact with your artwork. So again, just gets you closer to your artwork. It's an intuitive control system for camera movements, rotation, so you can get the exact view that you want. And then of course, again, continuous painting because you're not needing to like pick, you know, constantly picking your pen up and moving and things like that. And so the video, again, that Lawrence did, I just want to say that was captured in real time from the 3D view of Painter. And again, those movements that he did, that can only actually be done with using the Space Mouse. So hooray for Space Mouse. So we've also have new improvements coming for OCIO color management. So it was released last year, the first kind of iteration of this with 7.4. That was our first version of color management. And so we're just continuing to improve. And this is all based on the feedback that we're getting from our users and from the community. So again, we lots of new changes and updates to that based on your feedback for ICIO. And upcoming in the 8.1 update, we're now added physical size support to Painter as well. So this is pretty big. So Painter now takes into account physical size that's been defined in the material. And a lot of our applications are going to be able to work with this. So like you said, if you're creating substance materials in Designer, you can assign physical size attributes to that within the graph. Like I said, that can now be used in other applications that we have, such as Substance Painter here. So once that option's activated, so you bring your material in, once it's activated, and by selecting any other material in the asset panel, physical size is taken into account, and it automatically just rescales the mesh based on the object size. So you don't have to like go to your fill layer and then say, oh, you know what, the size is off, let me just repeat it like 12 times. Physical size is going to automatically take that into consideration. And also, we have some great color picker improvements. The color picker can now pick the appropriate channel rather than the final on-screen pixel. So that's awesome. So when you go to use your color picker, it's actually going to pick the color itself and not that rendered screen result from the material itself. So that's great. Another thing that's nice about this is that the color picker it now respects the current channel visibility. So you can see this on the second image here, where like if you're wanting to say I'm working on a metal and I want to pick from that metal, the Substance Painter knows, the picker knows that, oh, you know what, they just have metal enabled. I'm just going to pick the metal value from that using the color picker. So again, it respects that channel visibility. Also coming in the 8.1 update, we now have the ability to bake height and displacement in Substance Painter. This is awesome. People have been waiting for this for a while. So we had this inside of Designer. It's the same baker from Designer. So again, it just allows you to bake your poly mesh into a displacement, great for monsters and different type of characters they're going to be working on. We've also added a new bent normal baker as well. And so I want to give you guys a little bit of information on this here. So the bent normal baker is going to be really useful in Painter for shading. It's also very applicable for game engines. So Unity and Unreal, they both support bent normals. So bent normals can be used to improve the overall kind of diffuse and specular shading. So if we take a look at the diffuse part of this, the lighting comes from the unoccluded areas. So it kind of behaves a little bit like a simplified global illumination. And if you look at the specular component of that, specular reflections are shadows based on the bent normal occlusion. So what you get here is a more precise than the general ambient occlusion, trying to block out those specular highlights. So that's what helps the shading look much more grounded, and it also reduces like light leaks. And you can see that here in the car. So on the top is kind of what we had previously, and on the bottom you have the bent normals being used, and you can see that again it just gives a bit more depth to the overall kind of effect that you get there. So that is going to be a new baker. Also, we added the Opacity Baker as well, so you can use that within Substance Painter. So another update here in the 8.1 is, again, part of this story of continuing to round out like color management. So we're now adding Icc integration. So this is actually more for like kind of like the product design domain. The example on the left is an image that was made in Photoshop, and within this, the image has an Icc embedded profile. So now Painter can read that. So if you take a look at the result, you get the exact same color reproduction inside of, let's say, something like Photoshop as that, and that's exactly what you're going to get in the Painter viewpoint as well, because we're now going to be reading those that Icc embedded profile. Again, that's helps just to kind of round out our overall support for color management. Also in 8.1, we're adding a host of new grunge maps. So back in the 7.4 release, that was in November, we added 11 maps. And those maps came from Emil Sligers. Again, I've got to give a shout out to this guy. Emil he's a great artist. He's really great. He's created a series of these grunge maps that we're going to be supporting and adding into Substance Painter. So now what we have here is we're continuing that collaboration with Emil, and we're adding 20 new grunge maps from his collection. Also, Emil is a pretty prolific Substance user. He also has a nice training site called Fast Track Tutorials. I would highly recommend checking that out. I do watch it quite a bit because he goes into a lot of how he creates his Substance materials, how he works in Substance Painter, and it also showcases how he uses these types of grunge maps, so it's pretty cool. Okay, so we've also improved or added new seamless 3D noises. And so these 3D noises are really great for applying these noises without having to worry about UV seams because they're actually true 3D noise. So here we've added a host of these. You've got ridge noise fractal, Perlin noise, and a Voronoi fractal as well. So that's what we have upcoming in the 8.1 update. And so now we're going to jump over to Stager. And let's just, before we really get into the product, we just wanted to take a look at some of the artworks. So right here off the bat, you can see that we have something really cool by an artist named Vlad Petkovic. Again, I got to give a shout out to this guy. I have the distinct honor, a very lucky guy to work with so many cool artists. But Vlad, he's an amazing dude, and he is insanely talented. It's an honor to work with him. I think he's here in the room. Vlad, you're awesome. Yeah. So it's really cool to be able to work with all these guys. Again, I hate to get emotional up here, but I just love everybody that I work with. So yeah, thank you, Vlad. Really cool artwork, man. The next one is one that I did. I'm sorry, I feel stupid. It's like a shameless plug for myself. But I didn't put that on there, by the way. But the only reason it's on here is just to give you an example is because, I didn't even create these assets. And this is something I just wanted to share about Stager really quick. So, I work on the art team and, of course, as all of us, there's always these deadlines and like, hey, we need some piece of artwork, but we need it in like 10 minutes. So there was this project I was working on for a simulation, and I was like, oh man, I need something for this simulation deck slide. What can I do? And so, I grabbed some artwork that we had and, quickly threw it into Stager. I went to Adobe Stock and grabbed a background of you can see this military tent, just threw it together. It was literally like 5 minutes. And I produced this image right there. Did a little tweak in Photoshop to add a little bit of bloom, and that was it, and it was done. And that was something that really stuck out to me that was awesome about Stager. I was like, man, I got this really high quality rendering. It took like 5 minutes and I was done. No, what they say, no muss, no fuss. It was just like, boom, it was done. It was easy. So anyways, I think that's why we put this one in here. Now, here's an awesome artwork here. This is by Riddell. This is great, this little diorama. I love little scenes like this, man. We were always talking about doing little, yeah. And so it's really cool, and you can see here that, again, this was another great use case for Stager where, Chris was able to, he's creating his artwork, he's using Substance Painter, he needs to get a really nice render out, so we can just send this right into Stager, adjust just some few lights, and get something really great for his portfolio, again, with, very little effort on the rendering side. Here we have some more assets here, and these just show some different range. So the one here on the left is by Zhelong Xu. And then we have another character asset here from Daniel Marganato. And again, here you can see that these were just assets rendered in Stager. And here, speaking of just different materials, another great use case for Stager is just a tool for being able to showcase your beautiful materials. So like if you're creating your materials in Substance Designer and you want to be able to showcase them really well, now that we have the new feature to just send that material straight into Stager, and you can work with full displacement tessellation shaders, and you can just really quickly build out a render, again, just a matter of minutes, and showcase the high quality of your material. So this is one that we wanted to showcase here from Johnny Minero, because you can see that you get some really nice intricate detail here from this cloth and this fabric, and looking close, and it really just brings out and pops the material that he created. So it's pretty cool. And next up here, we've got just some artwork. This, again, another one of our great coworkers. This is Sino Lai. He produces a lot of amazing work here. And again, this was just a project that he did within Substance Painter. He needed to, hey, I need to do a quick portfolio render using Send to Stager, and then is able to create his render very quickly. All right, so now, after showing some of the artworks, we want to talk about some of the updates. So coming in the 1.2 update, we now have a new feature called IBL Shadows. And so this is basically a combination of voxel and screen space shadows calculated from the environment in a smooth, fast, and accurate real-time viewport at all time. And you can see here some of the example that you're getting from that and what it looks like. So in the top corner, maybe a little small to see, but that was like the default state of what Stager is doing now, where it's just like a simple directional light. And you can see that you can't really bring out the full weight and depth of your model from that. But now you can enable IBL shadows, and you can see that it now fully shades the model, again, working in real time to create these fast and accurate shadows. I will say that this is actually quite awesome. I've been able to play with this. And there's a lot of settings too. So like when you go into the viewport and you check the settings, you have a lot of flexibility and control over how this is actually computed. So you can increase quality, but you can also do a nice trade-off if you need to make sure that everything runs, very, very performant as well. And I really like how the team works very hard to balance quality and performance. So here you can see an example again where we can, as we said earlier, you can send materials from Sampler and Designer directly into Stager, and we now have this new material panel. And you can see that here in this image. There it is there. So you can see the material panel, and you can now just drag and drop your assets right from the material panel. So what this does is it just allows you to basically add, edit, and reuse any materials in your scene are now housed within this material project panel. You can import materials into your project or send them directly from Sampler and Designer. So for example, another good workflow is if I'm have a project here in Stager, I'm in Designer, I create my procedural material and I send that over to Stager, it's going to show up right here in that project's material panel. Again, allowing me to edit, duplicate it, and so on and so forth. So really nice feature. And as I said, the team, one of the things I really love about the Stager team is how they are constantly working on, not only adding, new features, but also balancing that with performance and improvements to the rendering. So here you can see that we have some new great rendering improvements. So one of that being, getting rid of the shadow termination artifacts on low polygon models. You can see that that's actually in the bottom. So if you look at the bottom left, that kind of shows what we had previously. And now on the bottom right, it's completely gone. I've actually run into this quite a few times, and it's really cool to be able to see that that's no longer there. This problem isn't a Stager issue. This is actually a common issue with path trace lighting, and it's really cool that the Stager render team has been able to find a way to actually resolve that. So that's very good and innovative on the rendering technology that we're using. Also, being able to, let's see here. The other one was, rendering for the improve rendering for edges. So it eliminates the dark rendered polygons, especially with displacement. So you can see in the top edge there, because of the displacement, you're getting a little bit of that dark edge, but they were able to improve that. So now when you're using displacement, again, Stager allows you to work with real-time displacement in the viewport. You won't get any of those edge artifacts as well. So that's another good improvement there. And of course, going back to improvement, the team is always working on that. So again, this build is also going to have a new host of performance improvements as well as bug fixes. So with that said, also talking about the Stager team, one of the things I want to talk about here is a little bit of a sneak peek. So the team has also been working on this interactive fiber generation and rendering. And here you can see a quick sneak peek of this fuzz material prototype here. So we'll let this kind of play, but you can see that this is actually working here in real time within the path trace viewport. And we have some more kind of examples. This one here, Magdalena had this character that I know she's done this in Substance Painter, but again, bringing this over into Stager, and here's how we can use that fuzz material just to put some of the, kind of like the, the peach fuzz around like either maybe on your cheek or around the ears and things like that. So really nice detail. The tennis ball looks really good. You can see, the up close of the actual fibers here. So that's really nice. And with that said, it is now my distinct honor to pass this over to my main man over here, Gio. Yeah. So I gotta say, again, again, I gotta say, another fantastic guy that I have the distinct privilege of working with on a daily basis. I work on the art and dev team here with Gio. Gio is an amazing artist. Gio is a true honor to be able to learn and work with you every day. And what we're doing here with Substance Modeler is very exciting. And so I'd love to turn it over to you. Let's see what you got, buddy.
Thank you, Wes. Switch. Alrighty. Hello, all. Can y'all hear me? From trying to modify my distance here. Well, to echo Wes's sentiments and enthusiasm, this is I believe my first GDC, and to share it on stage with Wes and Seb talking about an app I'm very, very passionate about it's very surreal. So I'm very excited to be here talking about Adobe Substance 3D Modeler. Let's get right on to it. Let's go ahead and...
You just hit the down arrow.
Oh, down arrow.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just dive right into the awesome artwork that the beta team, the artists in the beta, and as well as the internal artists have been doing using the modeler beta. Modeler essentially is a very powerful tool for sculpting organic characters, and this really shows the level of detail you can get with the using, which I'll show later in a video, like a multi-layer approach of detailing, and this work by Aaron Mead definitely shows that. And here we have Vlad, who Wes and I closely work with here, as we mentioned earlier, showing really the hard surface modeling abilities of Modeler, because I think historically when we look at sort of more of the VR/voxel style apps, it's mostly creatures and organics, and so what Vlad was able to do here is really amazing in terms of the level of detail, the cleanliness, the sharpness of the edges, and rendered in Stager. So this definitely shows the powerful tools that Modeler has for hard surface modeling. And further taking from the hard surface front is Danny McGrath, who really, what I love about this is it shows a good balance of big readable forms and fine details, and on all fronts, even the finer details really show the focus and sharpness of what Modeler can do with such hard surface forms. So awesome work here. And our internal artist, Joshua Eiten, he pretty much showcases the environment modeling abilities of Modeler with this amazing scene right here, which kind of reminds me of a little bit of Castle in the Sky, Miyazaki sort of a vibe to it. And yeah, it really shows off Modeler's assembly tools, which you can go from sort of a more focused singular character hard surface robot to all the way from a big environment. So I think this definitely showcases that. Also from Joshua is a different take. Obviously the other one was more industrial, but this one has more of an organic element to the environment with a lot of the plant life here, and that sort of cat there chilling, if you notice on the screen right, I guess, up on the screen there. So I've always loved this one by Joshua's. And this character really, I think, shows a good balance of sort of a more organic hard surface forms, for, when you think about like armors and such, and as well as the more kind of sculptural aspects of character creation. So this is also by Joshua. It's really awesome work, really awesome artist in general. So, and so this one, I love Ryan Corneille's work, and he's actually going to be presenting later at 1:20 p.m. So please stick around for that. But this is one of his the many whimsical pieces he's been using Modeler for. And if you look at his Twitter feed, he always posts these amazing, very imaginative pieces. And it all has like full of character and is always interesting and fun to look at. So please stick around at 1:20 to see what he has to show for Modeler. This one is done by Giovanni. Oh, that's me. Sorry. So this piece is entirely done in Modeler. I'm a sort of creature fan, and I love the films of Guillermo del Toro. So I was inspired to create this creature based on the world that, Hellboy and that sort of parallel universe merchant selling you something. So it's a transaction that this creature is giving you. Someone's buying the little innocent looking creature in the box, which is like blurred out, but it's going through the transaction. And in the next video, it's going to go by pretty quickly, so I'm going to be talking a little fast to kind of sort of like a sportscaster to comment on some of what's going on there. But it's going to show Modeler in action while building this this creature right here. All right, let me rev up for this one. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Alrighty, so this shows the VR aspect of Modeler, creating the primary forms via the layers, as I was mentioning about. And here we're adding the secondary forms and combining it and smoothing it. And now we're actually adding detail. And here it shows, I'll just here is the desktop version where I'm using the Wacom, grafting the veins and smoothing it out. And here we have the gizmo. I'm actually using the mouse here for the hard surface aspect of modeling. Just blocking in, still the mouse. I love the mouse when I'm in a hard surface frame of mind. And here I'm tumbling it in desktop as well. So as you can see, I'm switching from VR to desktop very dynamically. I just take off the headset. And now importing it into Stager, assigning materials. This was done by Geoffrey Rosen. And now we have the final render of the merchant, as I like to call it. Whew. I should have probably slowed that down a little bit, the video. Anyway, so with that, the beta will be available early April. Please sign up and join in on the fun and discover our wonderful new 3D modeling app. And I think back to Wes. Right?
Yeah, thanks, Gio. All right, thank you so much, Gio. Very inspiring, man.
Thank you.
All right, so heading on, we're going to take a look at Substance integrations. And so what we have now is a new revamped Substance 3D plugin for Unity. So again, of course, it enables you to load, apply, tweak Substance parametric materials directly in Unity. Our previous plugin, we had a lot of issues with that. And so what we've done is we've completely reworked this from the ground up. We have a brand new plugin. And it's now available right on the Unity Asset Store, and you can download and start using it today. And I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised at the new version of this and how it works and its performance. One of the other things that I like to bring out or bring attention to is the substance textures that are generated are now even read as like just standard Unity textures. So that is really great because all of the compression algorithms and modes that you can use within Unity all are at your fingertips now. So it's going to be a much more seamless integration within Unity and how that works. Also, we still support the runtime as well. So you have the ability to tweak materials in the in the editor, as well as being able to access the API for the runtime. So yeah, please check that out. New Substance for Unity plugin. We also have released Substance 3D for UE5. So what's really cool about this is we've got this on the Adobe pre-release. So you can just go to Adobe pre-release site and just download today the plugin, which has actually been built for the Preview 2 of Unreal Engine 5. And so, yeah, works just like the original plugin, just all completely working within Unreal Engine 5. One of the other things I'd like to mention here when we talk about this is just, the ability of using Substance Designer and how it's really great for working in Unreal Engine 5 with nanite meshes. That's something that's been quite awesome. So using Designer and being able to, create basically geometry through your height maps and your materials that you create, you can now export tessellated meshes. This isn't something new. We've added this back. I think it was last year. I don't remember what build it was. But you can export the tessellated meshes right out of Substance Designer. Works really great for importing those into UE5 as just a nanite mesh. Quite awesome for being able to kit bash terrains and things like that. So today we have some other big news, which is the Substance 3D Material SDK release. So what we're doing here is we're releasing the Substance SDK as to the community. So it's out there. You can go to developer.adobe.com/substance3d, and this is going to allow you to create your own Substance 3D plugins. Leverage parametric materials, use them in your own game engine, your own application, build your own live links, whatever you need to do. So I am super excited about this because I think giving these tools in the hands of all of you, the creatives, and letting you create what you want, it's going to be magnificent. It's going to help the community. We're going to have new tools based on what you have and what you want to create. So again, we're just thrilled to see what you guys do with this. So again, you can just go out, grab the Material SDK release, and it's there. Create your own Substance integrations. So next up, we're just going to do a quick talk here about Adobe Capture. Adobe Capture is a mobile phone app, and what we are doing here with this is we are adding the capability with Adobe Capture to use bitmap to material AI powered within Adobe Capture. So now you can use your mobile phone to scan a material or take a photo of it. Take that photo, convert it into a material just like you could in Sampler, but now you can do it all in the hands of your mobile phone. This is actually going to be for Android to start. So what you see here in the QR code is an Android beta sign up. Obviously, iOS is coming soon. I got to throw back to this though, Seb, because when I remember, it was even before I started, we had the mobile app. Do you remember bitmap to material on iPhone? I think it was out on iPhone 3G, like the third iPhone or something. And it was so cool. So I loved it. And so it's really neat to see that coming back. Again, already built within the Adobe Capture app. Okay, and so we're getting close to the time where we're going to jump into our QA with our dev teams. Again, just want to remind everybody about the after party. So while I'm talking about that, there's the QR code. We love QR codes, it looks like. I mean, we have a lot of them. And yeah.
Done in Designer.
Yeah, oh yeah, we should do that. You could make they're a great one. Make a QR code designer. No, I'm just kidding. That's not a good idea. Yeah, be sure to join us at the Substance party. We can't wait to hang out with you guys. Man, it's so great for us all to be together. Just having this interaction, with people again. Just really missed it, and it's really great. So thank you all again for joining us here. We're so glad to see you. And so, like I said, with that, we're going to jump into our Q&A. And I'm not really sure how the transition to the screen starts. But what we're going to have is Lydia Choi from the Modeler team, Jeanette Matthews from Stager, and we're also from France, and I'm never going to say it right, Clermont-Ferrand? Oh. From France, we're going to have Fabrice Piquet for Painter and Nicholas Vierman for Designer. And of course, we're going to have our very own Jeremy Noguet. There he is. I had some big shoes to fill, man, because usually Jeremy does this, and I gotta say, Jeremy, dude, it's not a GDC without you, buddy. I miss you, man. Jeremy couldn't be here for this GDC, but Jeremy, I miss you, man.
You did amazing, Wes.
Thank you, dude. All right, so with that said, what we can do now is, I think Tal and Vanessa have the wireless mic, and they're gonna walk around and just, if you have a question, just raise your hand. I can't see because of the lights, I'm totally blinded. Just you have a question. One of the things they asked us to do is when you ask the question, I got to repeat it because it's being recorded. So I think Vanessa and Tal, I can't even see if they're walking around. Yep, so if you have a question, I think just raise your hand and yeah, we'll have the dev team answer the questions. We got one right here. Excuse me.
Hello.
Yep.
Is this? Oh.
Yep, there we go.
Hello. So what's going on with the automation toolkit?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so the question is just wanting to know what's going on with the Substance automation toolkit. So yeah, Jeremy, maybe that one's one you can take?
Yeah, I can take this one. So yeah, the Substance automation toolkit right now is available for enterprise customers as part of the enterprise SKU for Substance enterprise subscription. But we're actually working on, and again, we're in the details of the legal aspects of it and everything. But we have plans to provide the ACT to as many people as we can. I can't go into details yet, but you can expect that, no matter if you have an enterprise customer or not, you should be able to have access to the ACT soon. And we're also, in the meantime, working on a new version of the ACT that we'll be able to talk about later this year. That relies, you saw a little bit of a USD push across the apps, and this ACT, the second version of ACT will rely heavily on USD. So we have a lot of work going on there. Hopefully we can share more info soon.
Thank you.
Hello. So I'm fairly new to using Substance programs in general. Just started going to college earlier last year. Would you say that the programs are well suited for people that are new into designing in 3D and getting into industry standard type stuff, just as an entry level program?
Great. Thank you. Great question. So just really quick, the question is, we have an artist new to 3D, just kind of getting into it. As the Substance apps, are they good to, are they easy to get into? Are they good, for learning as an industry standard? I'm not sure to take that one. Jeanette, I might pass that over to you, actually, if that's okay.
Sure, happy to. I actually went to school for game art and design. I can say that, learning 3D and learning texturing, Painter is actually very simple to get into in terms of the mental model, because there's a lot of overlap with Photoshop. If you understand layers and masking and the basics of a paintbrush, it's extremely easy to learn. And there's definitely a gradient, of course, with 3D at all things. There's things to learn that, are a bit more advanced in those concepts, like baking. But if you're looking for industry standards for texturing, I think it's safe to say Substance is a safe bet there.
Thanks, Jeanette.
I think the other nice thing to call out is just again, the amazing community. And there's a wealth of really rich tutorials on the Substance Learn site as well.
Thanks, Jeanette. Yeah, I can't see if anybody's answering. Yeah, it's like blinding.
So I was wondering if you guys had anything on the radar that you can speak to yet about possible collaborative workspaces in VR or augmented reality or Windows Mixed Reality review.
Great, thank you. So yeah, just to recap, that question was just asking if we have any plans for any support with collaborative workspaces with VR, AR, things like that.
I'm happy to take that. We know it's really important, especially with remote work. People have asked for, like a review tool in VR, especially since you don't get the distortion, you get the real world scale there. Yes, we're thinking about it. Like for example, in Medium by Adobe, there's like a one-on-one sort of sculpting experience. We want to build it differently in the future, and it's something on the radar for sure.
Great, thank you, Lydia. I think we have another one up here in the front. I can't see that one.
We've got one over here as well.
Oh, okay, great.
Hi, this is a total random question, but do you guys, with the Adobe suite, I know that there are industry certifications. Are there industry certifications coming for Substance?
So that question, that's a good question. That's actually been asked quite a bit. Do we have plans to have like certification programs and things like that for the Substance tools? Maybe Jeremy, that's one you can do.
I actually don't know the answer for that.
Oh.
I hope you would be able to answer that. I think there is work. I don't think we have anything right now, but I think there is work ongoing with the team in charge of the learning experience about certification. But I don't have one.
Yep.
Thank you. Question on supported configurations, especially in a world of remote desktop and that sort of thing. Windows Server and virtual machines are technically unsupported. Is there any plan to change that going forward?
Oh, great question. So that one was just asking about support for, I think it was remote desktop virtual machines. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so guys, did you hear the question for that one? Just support for remote desktop. I'm not sure who could take that with Fabrice. I think you've worked with that stuff before.
A little bit, mostly for doing supports. I don't know we have any plan right now. That's something we should evaluate, I guess. So yeah, mostly more in discussions than real plans right now.
If it helps, it used to work on server 19 and it's now airing out on 22. So
yeah, but with the evolution of software and the dependencies that we have, it's hard to support it easily. So one day it might work, one day it might doesn't. So unless we properly support for it, it's hard to say that it's going to go with.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys.
Good morning. Is there any updates on particles, especially in Painter specifically?
Okay, yeah. All right, that's a great question. So that one's asking if there's any updates to the particles system and the particle brush within Painter. Jeremy, that one's for you.
I can take this one. Seb could have taken this one.
Yeah, Seb told me to say Jeremy.
We don't, and I'm sad to say we don't. The particle system we have in Painter, right now we're leveraging a little bit of it, and it really hasn't evolved in the past 5 years or so. We could definitely leverage more. It can do more than what it does today in Painter. It just has never been a priority enough compared to all the other features that are more pipeline oriented and workflow oriented that are being asked every day by every customer and every studio using Painter. So those obviously take precedence over the particles, which is more nice to have feature. And I'll answer the same thing every time I get this question, which is we'd love to be able to improve the particle support in Painter. We just hope at some point we'll have the breathing room to do it rather than add new requested workflow features in Painter. It's always a hard balance between adding stuff that is fun and that we feel like could add more kind of bit of creativity to it versus all the pipeline required stuff that we need to add for the apps to work in studio environments. So and we don't have current plans right now, but we hope to be able to improve in the future.
Thanks, Jeremy. I think there's another question up in the front.
Hi, I do have a question regarding Modeler. Will it have any capabilities in terms of retopology for organic sculpting and such?
Okay, great question. So that question was asking about Modeler retopology tools. So Lydia, I think you take that one.
Yeah, so we are going to add quad remeshing, and as well as improving our decimation in general. Hopefully, there's this workflow that people do where they generate a quad mesh and then generate UVs and using the quad mesh and then reproject a triangulated mesh on top to get the detail back, and that's something that we want to support for sure.
Cool, thanks, Lydia.
Got one over here.
Yep.
Thanks. Hi, I'm wondering about the Unity plugin you guys mentioned. Is it something you can kind of run it while you're in play mode or kind of at runtime, or is it mostly just to, when you're playing around with assets in the editor?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. So that one was just asking about the Unity plugin, does it work in play mode? Does it work at runtime? I guess you want me to take that one, I guess, real quick? So to answer your question, it's great for being able to just ideally take your substance material assets, bring them right into Unity and be able to, in the properties panel, tweak through the material, make variations, and then see those update in the 3D view. But you can also, it works in play mode. So if you do that, it would work in play mode. Also, when we say that it supports the runtime, there's an API that you can use. So using C# scripts in the Unity API, you can access the material. So at runtime, let's say that you want to be able to, have an event maybe change, the color of a material, or maybe if it's a material that has bolts that get added on a door or something like that, you can actually do that at runtime. It is expensive to do things like that at runtime because you're changing the texture, but there's always kind of smart ways about doing that. It could be really great for, like, say, a character creator where, you know, you're swapping different decals on shirts or something like that. So yeah, it works in editor and play mode through the API. Yep, I think we got another one up front.
Hi, coming back for round two.
Oh, sure.
So to extend on the Substance Modeler question about retopology, it appears that Substance Modeler focuses a lot more heavily on the actual creative process. So it might not make sense to add what I'm asking about. But it sounds like we've got Dynamesh style stuff from ZBrush to automatically retopologize. And I'd almost guess that there would be an automatic UV tool. But is there a plan to have any actual discrete retopology tools, kind of like the Quad Draw in Maya, or UV unwrapping tools that let you manually unwrap your mesh?
Okay, yeah, great question. So that one, again, was asking about Modeler, mainly about do we have plans in the future to have, like, discrete, like, topology tools like Quad Remesher, and like the Quad Draw in Maya, or you know, UV tools so that they can do unwraps and things like that. Maybe Lydia, you want to take that one again?
Yeah, I guess it's more like specifically like artist-assisted retopology and UV generation. This is it's a big topic because it's definitely something we want to look into. There's part of our sort of vision is hoping that the user will, you know, as time passes and automated tools get better, that it will hopefully be something that you don't worry about in the future as like a point of friction, especially for interop and stuff. So I'm hoping that our automated tools will get better, but of course to like serve the current needs and constraints that we have, we are looking into that. But we're going to build a good modeling app first, and then we will focus on interop, of course.
Understood. Thank you.
Great, thanks.
Hi there, I'm Juan. First of all, I want to say, like, I love Substance, and I'm a big fan of you guys. So I've been using it for, I don't know, since the first one. So thank you very much for the work, because it's amazing. I love you, Gio. I love your work.
Yeah.
I love you too, Wes.
Thank you.
Like, so inspiring. I wanted to say, like, I'm a senior character artist, right? And I'm very interested in starting to sculpt in VR. But I also see, like, the pipeline is like you always can start there, but then you gotta go back to ZBrush at some point to really complete the production model and stuff. So is there like a possibility in the future, like, to have like a live link where you can switch to one another, or some kind of stuff like that that accelerates the production, and you can go back to VR, that kind of stuff?
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got to just rephrase the question real quick. Yeah, thank you so much, man. That's great. So yeah, it was just asking about. I think it was a live link between, you know, live link between the applications. Yeah. Sorry, Lydia. I guess you take that one. It's Modeler.
Oh, sure. Yeah. We, I mean, for hopefully obvious reasons, we are. We will definitely be working on sort of an easy easy interop path between like the other Substance tools, is particularly Painter and Stager, and definitely like live link is really powerful for a lot of use cases.
Thank you.
And I think when it comes to ZBrush, having a link to ZBrush or an export to ZBrush is definitely something that we'd be interested in.
Nice. Great. Yeah. Thank you, Juan. That's so awesome, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, I know. Nice. I can't see.
Just wait for the voices.
Was there any other questions? I couldn't tell. I think there's one up here in the front.
We got one over here too.
Oh, over there, okay.
Just a quick follow-up to the Unity question. I'm wondering what, does it work kind of like if you're going to run on mobile at all, like iOS, Android, or would the APIs work there?
Okay, great question. So this was a follow-up for Unity, just asking if it works on mobile. Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Okay,
it does support that. So basically the same process, but with the new plugin, one of the things that you get that's better is that, like I said, the textures that get generated. No, I could be wrong on that part, but I think we have optimized versions of that. We do have one of the guys here from the integrations team that can answer this technically afterwards. But from what I understand is we do have one version of that texture that's created that is more optimized, so it will work on the runtime. But yeah, it does support iOS and mobile, iOS, Android.
I have one more if you guys don't mind. And forgive me, feel free to shoot me for asking this question, but what's the best way to sort of integrate with Houdini, or what kind of workflows would you recommend?
Okay, that was a great question. So let's see, we can probably turn this over to some of you guys. I will say that there is a Houdini integration that Side Effects does make. I'm not sure how much of that they are maintaining, but that question is, what kind of workflows do we, from our Substance tools, do we recommend working with Houdini? I'm not sure which one of you guys want to take that. Nobody?
If nobody takes it, I can.
Jeremy will do it. Jeremy, there he is.
I mean, yeah, Houdini has a Substance integration that is developed by the Houdini team. So you can already, bring in your Substance materials in Houdini and tweak them and drive simulation and whatnot through those Substance materials. I think the next step, next obvious step would probably be to have a integration of our parametric model into Houdini. The feature set that Houdini and what the model you can create Substance Designer. There's some overlap, but it's still very different workflows. And I think it would make total sense to be able to bring those parametric models you make in Designer into Houdini. I think the team is still finalizing the API to be able to integrate the parametric model in third-party apps, but as soon as it's there, that should be probably one of our first integration. If the Houdini guys are happy to do it, we'd be happy to let them do it as well. Because we have limited resources on the integration side, but we'd love to have more, a deeper connection with Houdini for sure.
Great, thanks, Jeremy. Good question. I think there was another.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for the great presentation. It's great seeing all your upcoming products and everything. So my question was, are there plans for Substance Modeler to have rendering tools? Or is it more so like once something is created in Modeler, port it over to Stager and it'll be rendered there?
All right, so that question was just wondering if Modeler is going to support any kind of rendering features, or is it mainly just get the data out of Modeler and take that to Stager for the heavy lifting on that? Maybe Lydia, I guess, or
Sure.
Jeanette?
Yeah, I will say the way that we cut sort of like support features for sculpting and modeling is basically support lighting and capture features that will help you design the form and help you during the sculpting process. So it's not about the final image. We'll leave that to Stager and other apps.
I think just to append on to that, I think with all of the applications, there's some overlap, right? Like you're going to need a minimum amount of maybe what we would call modeling, like basic forms inside of Stager, and you'll need a minimum amount of lighting and camera tools inside of Modeler. So there's always like that line, because we're building an ecosystem of apps that should work together, but also each one should feel powerful enough that you don't need to hop over for some real micro transaction. So that's kind of a general philosophy of our ecosystem, I'd say.
Great.
I think to even expand on that, that overlap that we have as we're again going towards USD as a main interop format. Modeler will have USD support. Stager has USD import. You could set up your lighting, basic lighting in Modeler, bring that over to Stager, and your lights would be there, and you can refine that rendering there. So the goal is really to have this separate app that have a very specialized purpose, but to make the interrupt with them between those apps very seamless and like very quick to just go from one to the other.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Great, thank you guys very much. I think that was our last question that we have time for, so we're pretty much it. I think we can close it out. Actually, Seb, do you want to have some closing words there?
No, thank you. I guess thank you all. Thank you, and we're done. And see you soon. See you during the day and tonight. All right, thanks.